Hello everyone, this is Hakaym and welcome back to some more World of Warships, and today we are taking out the Tier 9 Russian destroyer, the Udaloi. I kinda like her. I do, I like her. She's fun. She's very similar to the Tashkent in quite a bit of ways. That's very similar between the Tier 7, 8, 9, and 10 are all very similar, but they do have minor differences. The Udaloi does have some minor differences. So, first off, I've had her for a little while, and I've upgraded the hull to this B, and I'm going to switch over to A just to show off what the Udaloi is like when you first get her. So starting off, survivability, you start off with 16,000 points of health, which is not bad. Compare it to, like, say, the Kageros, which is definitely a lot worse than that with 15,100. Not bad. Artillery, very similar to the Tashkent. Almost exactly the same. 130 millimeters, 3 turrets, 2 guns each, with a range of 13.2 kilometers, which is beneficial for those long-range sniping duels that you can have with American destroyers, which you definitely want to do. Now, the guns have a reload time of 4.5 seconds, with a turn time on the guns of 14.8 seconds. So, yeah, they're a tad bit slow. That's why you do not want to get close quarter combats with American destroyers. Now, the HE damage is not bad, 1,600, but the fire chance is a measly 9%, which I am currently working on my captain to get up to Demolition Expert, which will increase the HE chance, or HE chance, fire chance by 12%. So, very needed for the Russian destroyers if you're going to do the HE damage. Now the AP shells will do a max damage of 2,500, and yeah, any broadside target always fire AP because Russian destroyer AP is pretty good. Now the Udaloi's torpedo system is pretty good. It's very similar to the Tashkent and the Kiev, but it's a little bit different. It does have a different design, very similar to how the US Mahan actually has it. You have one on the starboard, one on the port, and I don't know, I just showed them backwards. Good job, me. And one center line. Now they do fire 3 torpedoes each, and since they have this setup, you can only get 6 torpedoes off on each side. And yeah, it can be kind of a problem, but you can always surprise people when you turn around and you fire another set of torpedoes, which can be kind of beneficial. Now the range is 8 kilometers, reload time is 70 seconds with a turn time of 6 seconds, and damage wise is 14,400. But they're a bit slow. They are 55 knots. Your ship can almost go as fast as your own torpedoes. So they are nothing like a Russian or even US destroyer torpedoes. They are really slow, but you do get quite a bit of them. So AA defense, it's alright. You have 6 dual 12.7 millimeters, and I really do like the look of these. They're just really cool. And then you have two dual 37 millimeters. Not bad. Maneuverability, she is quick, but she is not as quick as the Tashkent. The Tashkent, after you have both the flags and the engine boost, can get up to around 48.1 knots, while the Udaloi, with everything is said and done, can get up to about 45.1.2, something like that. So she's a little bit slower than the Tashkent, which is, oh, it's alright, I guess. Turning circle radius is 610 meters with a rudder shift time of 7.5 seconds. It's not the greatest. It's something that definitely needs to be worked on when you get the Udaloi, which I will show in just a second. Now, concealment is by far superior to the Tashkent, with a detectability by sea is 7.5 kilometers, which compared to the Tashkent has a detectability of 8.7 kilometers. So it is very more. It is much more stealthier than the Tashkent by far, but you are a little bit slower than the Tashkent. So there's that, I guess. Can't always have everything. Now, modules, as far as upgrades are concerned, there's a couple of different routes you want to go with. Now, depending on how your captain is set up, I am currently training my captain to get demolition expert and then survivability expert. I'm not going for concealment expert. Might as well just be kind of wide open, use my speed and my maneuverability to keep me alive. So this will increase my fire chance, and this will increase my health by 4,000 points of health once I get up to the Haberrush. But that's going to be some time. I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to get that. We'll see. Now, like I said, depending on how you build your captain, if you don't go for advanced fire and trading, you want to go for the range first. This will allow you to reach out to 12.1 kilometers instead of the 11 kilometers. Like I said, my captain does have advanced fire and training, which will bring out the range to 13.2. So, yeah, I would probably go for that, then go for the hull, and then for the guns, and then torpedoes. Torpedoes I probably recommend last because it's not always going to be your bread and butter. Go for your guns first. Now, if you have how my captain is set up, where he has advanced fire and training, go for the hull, then the guns, then the range, or go for the guns, or go for the range and then go for the guns. It's really pick your poison. So I don't have all the modules. I'm still waiting on this one once I get enough credits, and I have a ton of ships I'm trying to upgrade at the exact same time. Kind of a bad issue trying to upgrade 7 different classes and nations of ships, so kind of limited on money. Once I get 3 million credits, I'm going to get this, which will reduce the main battery loading time by 12% and the traverse speed by 13%, which is going to be a little bit nice, a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and pass you off to my past self that made a prior recording before they updated the game for the Halloween event, because I wasn't quite certain on whether or not I would be able to have the replays once they updated, and it will be showcasing my very first game with the Udaloi, and it kind of does show, so hopefully you guys enjoy it. I will see you guys there. Alright everyone, welcome back to a replay with the Udaloi, and this was actually the very first game I have had in the Udaloi, and we are playing on Epicenter. Not what I was really hoping for, especially with a brand new Russian destroyer ship. Was not looking forward to having the Epicenter map. Now we are playing on Tears of the Desert, and we are in a tier 10 game, and I am having a slight issue, not with the replay, but actually with my connection. I am lagging out, so that's why you do see me jumping back a little bit forth, and I slow up just in case I do lose connection. Now we have a Montana, Kurfürst, Iowa, Izmo, Amagi, Des Moines, Minotaur, Hindenburg, Kutuzov, Shimakaze, Fletcher, and the Udaloi on our team. On the enemy team, there is a Montana, Yamato, Iowa, Izmo, Tirpitz, Des Moines, Hindenburg, Zhao, Donskoy, Gearing, Kagero, and Fubuki. So, on their team, they have a Yamato, yeah, but I'm more concerned about the cruisers, the Zhao, the Des Moines, the Donskoy, even the Hindenburg are going to be a threat to me. And I will have to say, I am not accustomed to this ship. This ship is dramatically different from the Tashkent to an extent. Not dramatically, I probably shouldn't say that. It is going to be a little bit stealthier than the Tashkent, which is fantastic. It's a little bit smaller. It's not as big as the Tashkent. It doesn't sit up as high. And its torpedo systems are a little bizarre compared to, say, the Kiev and actually even older, lower tier Russian destroyers. They are not all central aligned. You have one on the starboard and one midship and one on port. So you only will be able to fire 2 spreads of torpedoes at a given time. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. I prefer having central aligned torpedo systems. They aren't bad torpedoes, especially if you get them upgraded. They will take a little bit longer to reload, but they deal higher damage, which is always good. So I'm trying to be a little bit careful. Like I said, I am not accustomed to the ship. Brand new, brand new out of the box. And I really don't want to die fairly quickly. Now, the enemy Donskoy took a massive hit and is very, very low on health. And we see some torpedoes incoming. And that means there is a enemy destroyer. Obviously, the center of the ring has started to cap. And no cruiser or dreadnoughts. Battleships are going to be out here. Now, we are detected, but once again, we are a Russian destroyer, and we do not have that great of detection. Now, there is the enemy Fubuki, and let's begin firing at him. Reload on the guns are decent. They're a little bit slower than they used to be. The Russian destroyer line did get nerfed. The Udaloi and the Habarovsk with a slower reload speed than it used to be. Now, since we are this far north, his smoke screen's actually not going to be that useful to him because, obviously, we just took him out because he was running away from the Fletcher and the smoke screen was deploying behind him. Since we were to the left of him, we were able to keep him spotted for a time being. Now, there was a Des Moines. I did pop my smoke, and it looks like the enemy Fubuki did fire torpedoes, but that's not going to be a major threat. Now, I was hoping to get torpedoes off towards that Des Moines or even get AP loaded if all possible. Now, our team is in the lead. We are going to be taking the center ring very, very soon. There we go. Just assisted capture of the center ring. And this is going to play a major role in the outcome of this game. Not to spoil it, but it is going to play a major outcome. Now, we do have the center ring. The center ring is going to offer the most amount of points to our team, while the enemy team has yet to capture. They are almost 100 points beneath us, but we'll see how things go. Now, I'm going to actually start moving out because there's no enemy ships for me to hit. There is a enemy Hindenburg that is hopefully going to be coming around that corner, but I don't think we're going to be quite as fortunate because we do have some battleships and cruisers that are fairly close, and I'm sure he is a decent player and he doesn't want to get annihilated that early in the game. So we're going to turn back in and move south a little bit and maybe go deal pressure on the enemy battleships that are out east. There are at least 4 or 5 battleships out east, because actually there looks like there's 4 battleships. Sorry, could not count for some odd reason. There is the Yamato, Izumo, and Iowa, and let's go hammer away at them. Now, unfortunately for us, we are going to lose our curve first fairly early. We lost our Hindenburg to the enemy Kagero, and any moment now we just lost our Kurfürst to the enemy Iowa. So we lost 2 tier 10 ships. Almost 6 minutes into the game, they've only lost 2 ships. I believe they lost 2 destroyers. They lost their Gearing and their Fubuki. Yes, the Gearing and the Fubuki could probably play a central role, but it's still a major loss losing a tier 10 2 tier 10 ships this, I don't want to say early, it's not really early, but lost 2 tier 10 ships, and they have yet to lose any of their tier 10 battleships or cruisers. Now, they did lose the Kagero, which means there's no more destroyers on their team, and I'm hoping to at least get maybe a torpedo hit and maybe get lucky. Now, we're going to begin firing at this Yamato. And once again, my destroyer captain does not have demolition expert, so my fire chance is not that high, especially against higher battleships. Now, the enemy battleships are hammering away. We just got a pretty big hit, at least a penetration on our ships, but I think we're going to be fine. We lit a fire. He is burning fairly nicely, switched over to AP, and just hoping to deal some decent damage against the side armor. Got around 1,650. Ooh, there's a 3,300. That's pretty good. But he did knock out the fires. And probably at this point, I would probably recommend go back and fire HE. But instead, we're going to focus our attention on this Montana. Like I said, I'm still getting accustomed to the Udaloi, so hopefully as I progress with the Udaloi, it's going to get better. Now we're doing decent damage, and I'm just checking, make sure I have a land to escape, because our smoke screen will not last forever, and I always want to make sure you have a way to get it out of there if you need it. Now, our piercing just hit there, but it actually hit a module, so he did not take that much damage. And I probably would be kicking I'm kicking myself right now. I would say go back to fire HE. You want to get that fire damage whenever possible, because it does always chip away. Now fire damage is 100% healable, so any fire damage that the Iowa or the Montana get, they can always repair it and use a heal. But there's always the possibility of lighting more fires and dealing more damage. And here I kind of make a silly mistake. I do not realize that my smoke screen has lit up, but fortunately I was able to start my engine since I was not detected, since I did not fire while my smoke screen dissipated, and am able to at least get away from there for the time being. Now, our team's doing really good. We've captured the center ring and we've captured the mid ring, which is really nice. But the enemy team, I don't want to say is in control to an extent, but they are all on the east side for the majority. It looks like there's a few ships up north, and they are definitely taking pot shots at me. I don't think they really like the Udaloi firing at them. And it probably also comes down to I'm maybe the only ship they can see that is in open water and they can possibly hit. Now we do have the Hindenburg and the Zhao firing away at us. And there's that Donskoy. That same Donskoy, actually the same one that got citadeled early in the game and lost the majority of his health. He is actually back with about 20,000 points of health on him, which is really good. It really demonstrates how much your heal can help you, because he almost has half his health back. And I'm definitely looking at this Udaloi. I want to try to take him out as much as possible. And we are getting fire damage. We're doing really well. And can we get a fire on the Donskoy? That would be fantastic. Hopefully we can help take him out. That would be one less cruiser I have to be concerned with. Can we get a fire? There we go. We have a fire on the Donskoy, but we did just lose our Shimakaze to the enemy Hindenburg, which is not particularly good because we kind of needed his torpedoes. Now the Donskoy did pop his repair. Yeah, extinguished the fires, but we're able to land another fire on that Donskoy, which is good. And he did retaliate and did a huge chunk of damage on us. So that's why I'm actually slowing down and I'm starting to back up and taking shots at this Iowa. This Iowa is so low on health. He has a little under 8,000 points of health, and it looks like he is using his repair party. And I'm just hoping to get a fire. If we can get a fire, he could very easily die. But we switch over to AP to deal with some damage that he can't fully repair, and we take another hit. And I think it's time to pop smoke. But unfortunately for us, the Iowa does get into some smoke and disappears from sight, which is not good. Now, our team is doing decent. If you look, we have a points advantage, we have a ship advantage, we have two more ships than they do, which is good. But, well, I don't want to spoil it. So I do slip out of the smoke screen, hoping to find a target that is very easy to hit. I do fire torpedoes, and for some odd reason, just this game, I'm not very lucky. Now, we just lost two ships right there, and then we lost our Ismo and our Minotaur, and now we are even up with the enemy team, which is not good. Now, this is pretty much when the balance of the game switches from us to the enemy team. But one good thing is that we still have both capture points. We still have the mid ring and the center ring, which is the most important thing, because without that center ring, you probably would have lost. Probably would have not survived for very much longer. Now, here is something that kind of irks me. There is a very low health Iowa. Very low health. 2,800 some points of damage of health on him. And I just really want to take him out. I'm firing AP. We are getting some amount of damage. If we only got a little bit more, we could have actually taken out the Iowa. And his parting shot does land on us and knocks out around 2,000 or 3,000 points of damage, which is not good. But we're still alive. We're still able to help. That's all that matters. So, still kind of sticking around. There is the Hindenburg. I do not want to get close to the Hindenburg because Hindenburg could probably easily take us out with a single salvo or two, because we are sitting at 4,550 points of health. So very close to dying. Now, keep an eye on this Iowa. I am going to do what a good little destroyer should help out. The Iowa is getting focused. He is pushing forward. He is showing broadside to both the Montana and the Yamato. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to help him out. My smoke's almost up. And I chat to him. I'm like, hey, I can drop smoke. So I began turning in, waiting for my smoke screen to actually begin. And there we go. I pop smoke. And I'm going to start speeding up. And I'm going to try to get in front of this Iowa to help him out. Now, if he was paying attention, he should know that I told him I was popping smoke. And he doesn't really seem to be stopping. And unfortunately, he goes down. Now, it's possible that he did see that. And I believe he actually does. He actually comments to me now that I remember. But I think it just came down to it was almost a little late, and it takes a little while for the Iowa to slow down. But unfortunately, we lose our Iowa, and now the enemy team has a ship advantage. But we are sitting at about 910 points, something like that. And there's only about 4.5 minutes left in the game. And I'm going to try to use this smoke screen that I did pop. It was my last smoke screen. I'm going to try to use it to the very best advantage as I can. So, Yamato's at the very extent of my range. I do not have the gun increase, the gun range. So I'm going to have to try to rely that he moves closer and closer towards me. We do land a fire, which is very fortunate. And I probably should have just kept firing HE. Now that I'm thinking about it, I probably should have just kept firing HE. Silly mistake. I'm not getting a lot of damage here. Too much of it's plunging fire. And we popped outside our smoke screen. And we are being detected. One thing to keep in mind. There is a Hindenburg right behind me. And guess who's coming around the corner here soon? Oh yeah, the Hindenburg. And there he is. He just popped up on the map, and we took a decent hit. We're going to try to get out of here, use our engine boost, which is going to be very beneficial. But unfortunately, we aren't as fast as the Tashkent, which is unfortunate. So we're going to take really big steps away from the Hindenburg, but we're going to try to keep supporting our team by taking shots at the Yamato. Now, we did just lose our Fletcher, and previously, a little bit ago, we lost our Montana. So all that's left on the team is me and my Udaloi, a Des Moines, and guess what battleship is left? If you guessed the Montana or the Kurfürst, you were not paying attention. How dare you? No, all that's left on our team that is a battleship is the Amagi. Oh yeah. The Amagi versus a Tirpitz, Yamato. I even think there is the Montana still left on their team. Memory serves me. Yeah, there's still the Montana, and the enemy Montana is doing a really good job. Has 3 kills. And I am very low on health. I am sitting at 627 points of health. very low. I'm going to try to stay out of detection and try to help our team as much as possible. Now, with that early lead, we've got up to 915 points. And there is about 2 minutes left, and there are sirens going off, so do forgive me. Can't control that. Here's one thing I probably would have just done. I should have just ran away. We are sitting at about a minute 56. There's no way for them to actually get enough points to make a comeback, and probably would have survived. Probably would have won this, but I run into the Des Moines and take a shot for him. So I probably just saved that Des Moines some major damage, and I do let him know that you are welcome. That was a very unfortunate but lucky shot on the Turpits by taking me out. So yeah, I don't think I was very happy at the end, because, well, I thought we were going to lose. I really did. I thought we were going to lose. But as you can see, we earned a victory due to points and the time expiring, which was fantastic. We earned 464,074 silver, 12,472 XP, and 624 free XP, and we earned first blood. Damage-wise, we dealt out 114,921. Target hits were 275, 4 incapacitation, 1 kill, 7 fires, 8 defended base caps, and 2 assisted base caps. Since we defended a base and assisted capturing bases, we got top of the team with a base XP of 2,726. And damage-wise, like I said, pretty good. Fires were the majority of it, 45,443. AP was pretty decent, 47,363. So do not doubt the Russian destroyer's AP. Does pretty good job. And after everything was said and done, we earned 334,526. This was a pretty good game. Like I said, when I died, I went back to port. I thought we lost, and I come back and we won. Victory. So yeah, very fun first game, and I'm looking forward to the fully upgraded Udaloi, and even then the Haberashk. I'm definitely looking forward to Haberashk. So this is going to be it for this episode of World of Warships, and if you like what you saw, hit the like and subscribe button. You guys have a great and fantastic day. Zaijian.